Believe it or not, the main inspiration for the San Siro, undeniably one of continental Europe's most iconic pieces of footballing architecture, was England. No, genuinely, all the way back in 1925, AC Milan club president 𝗕𝗫𝗧𝗏 ordered construction of a new stadium inspired by the pure football ideology of the English. That didn't mean he wanted a corrugated iron roof and one of those little vans outside that does naught but those fat, sweaty burgers, but rather it was to be only a football stadium. No other facilities, no athletics track, just a pitch that the fans felt like they were on top of. Nearly 100 years later, and as the city's landscape evolves, so too does the debate around whether to preserve or demolish San Siro, now one of the most unmistakable sporting stadiums in the whole world. If you're driving into Milan, the stadium is impossible to miss. Its enormous roof beams, perched 80 metres above the ground, are visible from the flat cityscape. From the tram, you get glimpses of the structure's distinctive trusses, while the metro offers a tantalising first sight as you emerge from the underground, revealing the stadium's colossal form. The experience of seeing San Siro in person is truly awe-inspiring. Its columns, its ramps, and its towering roof are emblematic of the stadium's grandeur. But amid all of this, there's this increasing push to tear the whole thing down. At the heart of this argument for demolition is financial need. Milan and Inter, the two footballing giants sharing the stadium, believe that a new arena is essential to increase their revenue streams and remain competitive with the top clubs in Europe. San Siro, despite its legendary status, offers limited commercial opportunities, lacking modern amenities and the income-generating potential of newer venues. Without a new stadium, the clubs feel that they risk falling behind. But this is, of course, easier said than done. As of now, the future of San Siro is mired in a mix of bureaucracy, of politics, and public opinion. The stadium opened in 1926, originally quite a modest venue in the city known for its sports architecture. Over the years, it underwent significant upgrades, most notably in the 1950s when it gained its distinctive exterior, with its sloping concrete ramps that now characterise the entire ground. By 1990, with the addition of this third tier, the stadium was ready for the World Cup and became one of the most renowned footballing arenas across the globe. In 2019, Milan and Inter unveiled a plan to build a new stadium on the exact same site. The proposal was met with fanfare, but also significant opposition. Milan and Inter's ownership groups, especially the American Redbird Capital, see the new stadium as an opportunity to boost their revenue, drawing in corporate sponsorships, hosting concerts, and even NFL games. The existing venue, they argue, is stuck in the past, offering little more than a monument with few commercial offerings and little in the way of modern conveniences like restaurants or cafes. Alessandro Jacobone, a red and black-blooded reporter who runs a Milan fan club and dedicates his life to following the team, is among those who see the stadium as holding the team back. While he loves San Siro, he told FourFourTwo in our recent feature on the stadium that the future of both Milan clubs is tied to the modernisation and their ability to increase revenues. Milan's new owners, backed by a $1.2 billion investment, are eager to move forward with the project, and he notes that the American approach to business is much less patient. Time is money, he told us, reflecting the owner's desire for a more profitable modern home for the club as soon as possible. But fans like him who have grown up with San Siro are far from the only ones invested in the stadium's future. Many people feel the stadium is irreplaceable. San Siro is not just a football ground, it's a cultural monument intertwined with the city's history. Its importance extends beyond sport, symbolising Milan's ability to transform while retaining its unique identity. This sentiment is echoed by 𝗕𝗫𝗧𝗏𝗏, former vice president of Milan, who argues that San Siro is the people's stadium and should not be reduced to a mere financial asset. For him, the demolition of the stadium would be a loss of something far more precious than just some building. It would erase the collective memories of generations of football fans. The stadium also holds a special place in the hearts of millions because of its historical significance. Over the years, it's hosted countless legendary players and pivotal moments in football. From the derby della Maradona to European finals, San Siro has provided a stage for some of the greatest matches in the entire history of the game. The passion of the supporters is palpable. When the 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏 and 𝗘𝗫𝗏 Nord create tifos, the entire stadium becomes a canvas of footballing devotion. For the Inter fans though, San Siro is also deeply ingrained in their club's identity. However, some, like lifelong supporter 𝗕𝗫𝗧𝗧𝗔, acknowledge that it might be time to move on. With the club's differing financial situations, Milan are flush with investment and Inter are facing more pressure to secure funding, the question of whether the two teams will even continue to share a stadium is also in limbo. AC recently announced a new potential site for their stadium, a plot of land near Lamura, but Inter, however, claim to have identified their own secret location outside of the city. The lack of clarity and constant back and forth is a testament to not only the complexity of the issue, but the importance of getting it right. As the clubs battle it out, the city's politics are, unsurprisingly, also playing a significant role. The mayor of Milan, 𝗬𝗚𝗧𝗧, finds himself caught between the desires of the clubs, the preservationists, and the city's broader interests. In a situation made all the more complicated by conflicting political statements, the mayor's job is to make a decision that somehow satisfies everyone. A task that seems, for anybody looking from the outside in, nearly impossible. The recent tug-of-war over the stadium's status, fueled by political manoeuvring, shows just how tangled the situation has become. At the centre of this debate is the ongoing push by the 𝗕𝗫𝗧𝗧𝗏 committee, led by figures like 𝗘𝗫𝗴្𝗍, to preserve the stadium at any cost. Their fight is not just about architecture, it's about defending a cultural symbol. The committee has even gained support from international figures like Bruce Springsteen, who has expressed sympathy for their cause, stating that demolishing a stadium like San Siro, and this is a quote by the way, would mean destroying the soul of the people who were inside. While the political football is going to continue probably forever, a key event looms on the horizon. In 2026, San Siro will host the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics. By then, the city will have a new mayor and the lease deal with Milan and Inter will have expired. The pressure to make a decision is mounting, but the path forward remains increasingly unclear. Milan's two giants may well have finished first and second in last season's Serie A, but both got badly shown up on the European stage. Milan failing to even get out of their group, while Inter allowed a first leg lead to slip against Atletico Madrid and were dumped out in the round of 16. This, they say, is proof of how desperate the need for new investment is, but as the situation develops, the future of this stadium is now more uncertain than it ever was. Whether it is ultimately demolished to be rebuilt as some European super stadia or somehow preserved as the icon of cultural heritage it is, one thing is clear. The stadium, if you can even call it a stadium, will always be so much more than just an arrangement of concrete and steel girders. It's a symbol of Milan's identity, a place where history was and continues to be made and where the battle for its future continues to be waged, both on the pitch and off it.